This is what happens every time I want to make a video. Oh, you let me sit? Thank you. Alright guys, now let's get started. Hello everyone, my name is Ming and this is going to be the third video about how to capture the Milky Way. The first video I talked about all the gear I used to capture the Milky Way, and the second video I talked about how I retouch the Milky Way in Capture One. I will put the links in the description below, so if you are interested, feel free to check out the last two videos. In this video, I'm going to talk about how to plan your Milky Way shoot, because in the first video after I post on the YouTube, many people asked, hey Ming, how do you plan your Milky Way shoot? I know it's going to be confusing at first, because I remember when I just started, I didn't know what time to go out, and I didn't know what the Milky Way is going to look like, how is it going to be in my composition, that kind of questions. I think it's important if you want to get an amazing Milky Way shot, then you need to know where the Milky Way is going to be. So today in this video, I'm going to share the apps that I use to help me to plan for the Milky Way shoot. Now, the first app that I use is called Star Walk 2. I think it's a very straightforward app and the interface is very simple, and I think it's intuitive to use. When you open up the app for the first time, you need to press the button at the bottom right corner. You want to go to settings and then choose your location. It's important because the Milky Way rise up different time based on your location. So you need to choose your current location where you're going to shoot the Milky Way, and then go back to the main interface. And what's cool about this app is there is a clock icon at the top right corner. So you can just click that icon, and it shows a timeline at the right hand side. So you can just choose a time that you are going to shoot, and then you can take a look what the Milky Way is going to look like around that time. So you can play with different time and see what the Milky Way is going to look like. And also it shows the moon. So as you can see, tomorrow 3:56 a.m. the moon is going to be very close to the Milky Way, so I don't recommend it to shoot the Milky Way in that condition, because if the moon is too bright, then it's going to affect the brightness of the Milky Way. So by changing the time, you can see what time the Milky Way rise up. So if the Milky Way rise up after 12 a.m., then I would usually just go after 12 a.m. So I don't need to spend the whole night out there waiting for the Milky Way to come up, because I know exactly what time the Milky Way is going to come up. Also, I think this app can help me is to determine which direction I'm going to shoot. So sometimes if you are not clear if you are going to shoot the east or shoot facing the west, I think this app is going to help you, because you can determine, for example, it's 3 a.m. in the morning, and this app tells you the Milky Way is going to rise up from the east, so you can just shoot facing the east. So that can save you a little bit of time, because you don't need to spend the time to looking for the Milky Way. Basically, when you are on location, you already know where the Milky Way is going to be. Another app that I will recommend is called PhotoPills. I think many of you already know about this app because this app provides a lot of features, and to be honest, most of the features I actually don't use. But when I go out and shoot the Milky Way, sometimes I use the feature called Night AR, because it's a augmented reality camera, and basically what's cool is it places the Milky Way position on top of whatever you see in your camera. So I think it's a great tool to help you to come up with your composition. For example, so right here, my camera is right there. So let's assume that's a mountain or the subject that I want to shoot. And now I can just rotate the screen, and I can see the Milky Way's position. So if I think this position looks great, then I can see what time it's going to happen. So I think that helps you to come up with a good composition. So for me, when I go out to shoot the Milky Way, most of the time before I leave, I use Star Walk 2 to figure out what time the Milky Way is going to come up and which direction I'm going to shoot. And when I go out and when I'm on location ready to shoot the Milky Way, then I use this PhotoPills. I use the Night AR feature to tell me exactly the composition, what the composition is going to look like. So I think that's very helpful in the night when it's totally dark outside. I'm using an iPhone, so I know both PhotoPills and Star Walk 2 are available in iOS App Store. I'm not sure about Android, but I think PhotoPills might be available on Android as well. And also, I believe there are a lot of alternatives that you can find on Android. Alright guys, that's the 2 apps that helped me prepare Milky Way shoot. Another step I would take after looking into these apps is I will look on Google Maps. I will use the Street View feature to pick a location. Usually I want a location that has an open space I can view from north to south, because if I want to shoot the whole band of Milky Way, I want to have a clear vision from north to south. And also, I would like to check out the foreground elements in advance, because sometimes I would like to have some foreground elements in my photo to create the sense of depth. Alright guys, that's it for me today. A quick video. I hope you find it useful and helpful. If you like this video, please hit the like button below. And if you are not subscribed already, please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel for more photography tips and tutorials just like this one. I hope to see you next time. Bye.